Fish Pokemon. Do they work? The appeal of Pokemon lies in its unique concept, a world filled with creatures that can be caught, trained, and tamed. The designers draw inspiration from real-life animals to create each Pokemon, making the world both familiar and fantastical. Today I want to delve into a fascinating topic, the effectiveness of fish-type Pokemon. Do they work? In previous discussions on this channel, we've analyzed the unique elements of Pokemon and their connection to marketing. The underlying principle is that every Pokemon competes for the player's attention. Each new design, starting Pokemon, and generation aims to capture the player's interest and imagination. The Pokemon world is meant to resemble a diverse wildlife ecosystem, with different creatures filling different distinct niches, similar to real-life ecosystems. However, this concept has become muddled over time. Analyzing fish Pokemon as a group, I want to take a deep dive into their place in the larger Pokemon ecosystem and why these designs are often not as well received as others. So let's hop right in. First off, when I say fish Pokemon, I mean Pokemon whose design is based off of fish. This means Pokemon like Gyarados, Horsea, and Lapras don't fall into this category. With that said, as a group, the biggest problem I see with fish Pokemon is that they are too hard to design in a unique or interesting way. Sure, there are some cool examples, like Relicanth or Quillfish, but overall, the differentiation is just too difficult. There's not much you can do to tweak the design of a fish Pokemon and make it unique. If we take a look at coral reefs or deep sea ecosystems, all fish look very similar, so it's understandable. But I think what makes all fish unique in the real world is their behavior. Each species of fish has a unique set of behaviors it evolved to survive and reproduce. Think swordfish with their pack hunting mentality, or clownfish who engage in reciprocal relationships with the coral, or even sardines who swarm together in balls of millions to avoid predation. Unfortunately, up until this point, the behaviors of fish is something that has been difficult for Pokemon to recreate. And so, the best they can do is try to focus on distinctly shaped fish and base the design off them. But that's not all. Another problem plaguing fish Pokemon is the restriction in access. From an ecological standpoint, this makes sense. I mean, 99.9% of fish in the real world are found in water. So it makes sense that fish Pokemon are found in water as well. But the problem with this is the restricted access. Because we only encounter fish Pokemon when fishing or surfing, they become commonplace. The scarcity is eliminated. For example, take a look at the Hoenn region. A large area of this map is covered in water, and normally this would be fine. But the problem here is that there are basically only two Pokemon you can consistently run into when surfing, Wingull and Tentacruel. I know they're not fish Pokemon, but you get the point I'm trying to make. This drastically reduces the likability of these Pokemon, as the overabundance makes them more of a nuisance than anything else. Fish-type Pokemon play an important role in the game and how the game is perceived. In order to accurately represent the animal kingdom, all types of animals must be included in the Pokemon world. But along with this, fish-type Pokemon serve as a foil to enhance the appeal of more unique designs. As previously established, all Pokemon exist in this comparative frame and compete for our attention. By serving as lower-tier designs, fish Pokemon add to the diversity of the ecosystem and enhance the rarity of other more distinctive Pokemon, like legendaries. Scarlet and Violet were just a taste, but in the future games, Pokemon should really lean on wildlife ecosystems to design their worlds. The ocean is full of weird and strange fish, but when translated into Pokemon, they just seem so incredibly dull. But I think I know why. It's because fish Pokemon aren't very interesting on their own. They're interesting together. The way they move, the way they interact, and the way they behave. Imagine surfing around the ocean and seeing schools of Magikarp being chased by a Sharpedo, for example. It would really add an element of uniqueness to the game. Obviously, this would be difficult, and I don't expect it to happen anytime soon, but it would be super cool if it was added to the game. And who knows, maybe it would make the fish-type Pokemon more likable.